Actually, we came back in and got to be in person, which was also a whole special thing. Suddenly, like all these people you've been seeing in little Zoom windows, you're meeting them in person for the first time. And like, oh, wow, you're tall. I didn't realize you were tall.
Yeah.
I've only seen you in this little window this whole time.
Create the world that we were promised as sanctuary borns.
The world that was can become the world that will be.
Hi, Andrew. I'm Terrell with the Culture Collective. How you doing today?
Good. How are you, Terrell? Pleasure to meet
Pretty.
you.
You too. You too. I feel like I've been doing interviews and watching the show over the past year, and I feel like I'm still kind of in disbelief that it's coming to an end. But the books are only but so long, so you can only do but so long. It's an expectation there. Uh, I jump right into to my question for you as the supervising director. Now, obviously, you have normally with an animated series, you would typically have like either a director for a certain amount of episodes or a director for each episode. With you being the supervising director, was there any point where you want to keep the show pretty close to what the books are? Was there any
Mhm.
point where, like, as director, there was directors that wanted to give it just a slightly different, like something different, like a unique feel to, each director has a unique a signature,
Yeah.
like where like you had to kind of deviate and like keep it on task,
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Like, was there a point where like you wanted to do something a little bit different, but you wanted to stay true as close to the books as possible?
Well, I mean, we tried to stay close to the books thematically. Obviously we did deviate a little bit just because it's a different medium
Right.
and the story sort of demanded it. And then every director always tries, and I encourage them, and the team encourages each other to try things. You know, of course, on a TV pipeline, you don't have a lot of room to experiment or try things.
Right.
So we just had a lot of eyes making sure that what you're going a little too far this way. Let's bring it back. Because sometimes that's where the magic happens, where someone, it's something I got from Pixar long ago. It's like anyone can have a good idea. So the point being, you want to open up and allow people to try different things and bring something unique to what they're doing. And so then, yeah, I would have to make sure what they were doing would hook up to what happened in previous episodes and what it was, if it was going to pay off later.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Like I say, as somebody that watches a lot of anime and stuff like that, I constantly get a lot of hands in the pot.
Yeah.
And sometimes like the animation, always doesn't always, you don't have the consistent animation, but that's more of a budgeting thing than it is than the director thing.
Yeah.
But with this, like, and you working, I'm assuming you work closely with the voice actors as well,
Yeah.
making sure that was there any particular scenes of this last season where you felt like it was a little bit more of a struggle just trying to get the lines right, not necessarily the deliverance, but it just
Mhm.
didn't fit to like the how you guys wanted the direction of the scene to go?
There were some times where we re-recorded a lot because there was a lot of inspiration and experimentation going on, and the actors were wonderful in giving us their time, and that we would work a scene and record it, and then we put it back in and then cut it in, and we realized it's not quite landing, and then maybe we'd adjust some lines, move some things around, and then we'd go back and re-record. So there was not quite a bit, but there was some back and forth to make sure things were landing right. And
Eh,
the actors were great. They they didn't, every time we come back to them, we talk to them, it's like it's not the performance, it's like we just think it needed this
yeah.
line and this intention, and they go, okay, and then off they go.
I got an opportunity to talk to pretty much everybody, and they definitely said good things about the level of comfort they felt, the direction, like this, it just felt super easy.
Mhm.
With a lot of them, being able to work from home, that just makes the job a lot easier, not having to fly out or go to a studio, especially when you have the equipment to do it from your house.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, everybody just has nothing but heartfelt like just memories of working on the show, which leads me into my next question is how would you feel putting a pen on this show? I know this is a job, but you've made memories with so many different people. You work with a lot of people. You've given a lot of people opportunity here. The Apple TV as a whole. But how
Yeah.
you feel like putting a pen on this project?
You mean, how does it rank in my career kind of thing?
No, just this particular, like, just putting this particular story to a close, because I'm sure like everything you work on has some type of heartfelt, like,
Yeah.
or like you have a memory, but how you feel like this is over. What what's
It
the
was
next thing?
bittersweet. It was definitely bittersweet because we made this right through COVID, and I made a lot of this while I was in my living room, so as a lot of people did. So it has its unique point in history as well, that we're making this movie or this series all from our homes, and eventually we came back in and got to be in person, which was also a whole special thing. Suddenly, like, all these people you've been seeing in little Zoom windows, you're meeting them in person for the first time. And like, oh wow, you're tall. I didn't realize you were tall. I've only seen you in this little window this whole time. So it's for me, it was bittersweet, and it was tough to wind down and let it go because I really loved working with the team and I loved the characters, and it's like, okay, it's over now.
It's got to be hard, like you said, somebody that you're an artist, you're a director.
Yeah.
Like, where do you stop? Where do you say, hey, this is gonna be as good as it's gonna be?
Yeah.
This is the product, the final product we get, that we're really released this publicly. I
Yeah.
feel like that's always like the hardest choice. Like when you're cutting up and you're editing, okay,
Yeah.
is this the best version of what we can get this in 20 something minutes?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I can only imagine. Last but not least, I'll end it on this. What is something you want to part to the fans of WondLa as we are in the final finale, series finale of this, the closing the door, for the people that have not seen this, why they should be watching, or have they not watched the last season of WondLa?
Watch it. Oh my God, what are you doing? No, it's just, I think if they watch the whole series, this is the ultimate payoff, and we built it to be binged, and we built it to build and build and build emotionally to these final episodes. So, if you'll be satisfied and emotionally, you'll feel it emotionally if you go through this and watch it to the end.
I don't think I got any more tears left in my body, Andrew, after you this last season. I was just, man, I was hoping it chef's kiss. It was you guys did a really incredible job with this.
Oh,
Incredible
thank you so
job.
much. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Well, thank you, Andrew. I appreciate you for doing this interview with me. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
you so much. Great show. Thank you.
Thank you. Pleasure meeting you.
You too.
Take
Perilous.